Right now, our next guest knows how to deal with her male co-stars. In EastEnders, she cemented her relationship with Dirty Den by burying him in concrete. Her latest project as the sex-obsessed wife of writer D.H. Lawrence in new play On the Rocks has won her rave reviews in another tempestuous pairing. But not long ago, she fulfilled a lifelong ambition by capturing David Tennant's Doctor Who.
Come to Torchwood.
That's such a fast song, Lynda.
Came down to Earth off the Shetland Islands 10 years ago.
What, did it crash?
No, we shot it down. It violated our airspace. Then we stripped it bare. The weapon that destroyed the Sycorax on Christmas Day, that was us. Now if you'd like to come with me. The Torchwood Institute has a motto. If it's alien, it's ours. Anything that comes from the sky, we strip it down and we use it for the good of the British Empire.
For the good of the what?
The British Empire.
There isn't a British Empire.
Not yet.
Please welcome Tracy-Ann Oberman. Oh, do you like that music? She's just a devil woman.
Oh,
they played you.
It was written for me.
Do you enjoy all the juicy roles that come your way?
I do. I like them. I get to play very sort of complex. You know, are they villains? Are they not? Are they victims? Villains?
Tell us about this new one. She's a sexy minx.
Oh well, Frida Lawrence, marriage to D.H. Lawrence, is a very interesting character. She was she met D.H. Lawrence, this sort of very charismatic writer. 3 weeks after meeting him, she walked out on her 3 children and her husband in Nottingham, went off and lived with him, travelled around the world. They had a very passionate relationship. They were sort of beating each other up one minute and then making passionate love on the lawn in front of all their sort of neighbours and friends. I mean, it was a crazy relationship.
Sounds
really
like your
crazy.
house, doesn't it?
Does it? You know, we've all been there. But she was, you know, they were absolutely bound like this. And she was a German countess, and she was just way ahead of her time. She was, you know, sort of very open, and she should have been born in the 60s. She was, you know, sex for everybody, sex at all times. You know, being.
Did it last? This
yes, it did. I mean, they were always leaving and coming back together. But
she never got back with her children.
She never did. That she saw the older one. The baby came to see her. I think when she was about 16, 17. But she never really regained her relationship with them. But it's her relationship with D.H. Lawrence, and the play is centred around 2 months that they had in Cornwall, where they invited their best friends, Catherine Mansfield and her partner, who was a writer, to come and live with them. And after 2 weeks, they started to loathe each other because they were terribly English and prim and sort of couldn't talk about sex at all. And the Lawrences were there, sort of fighting and smashing crockery over. It sounds like it's doesn't it? and it's a sort of a play that's based on truth, like going away on, you know, a weekend with your best friends, and halfway through thinking, oh, I can't stand
these people.
I can't stand them. And it was all true, so it's a very good play.
Rave reviews.
It's done very well, yeah.
And it's written by Maureen Lipman's daughter,
Yes,
isn't it?
Amy Rosenthal.
Yes, good on her.
It's a really good play.
It sounds great. Are you like the character at all? Are you a bit
It's non-stop like
that.
that.
Oh, I can imagine. You sort of strike me that way. No.
I found it, no, Frida was so, she was, you know, and also she was very sunny, Frida, so he used to insult her and literally be sort of threatening her with a bottle, and she'd be laughing, going, oh, he loves me, really. She was, no, I'm not, I think I'm a lot more suppressed.
But you got married and had your daughters. It all kind of happened very quickly, didn't it? And rather wonderfully.
In about a year, yes. Yeah. I did. I never thought I'd get married. It was of no interest to me at all. And then I did. I got married. You see?
See, we're telling Jane she's going around
telling you. Never know.
No,
I never did. I always used to think, no.
We do that, don't we? Go for the throats.
Yes.
Which is usually what your husbands do.
Every husband I've ever had on stage and television recently have gone for my throat. But yeah, I did. So it did all happen. I never thought I'd be there. And that's the best thing of all. You know, all professional success is lovely, but I think personal happiness
sort of cements it all.
And is that because you've bought him a shed?
He has a metaphorical shed. We had a garden big enough, I'd give him a shed, but he has his own little office, sort of studio space. And he drums, he's a musician, he drums and plays the guitar. It's always good for them to have a shed.
I think it's great if you've got a drummer in a shed.
Do you? She's got a drummer in a shed. It's wonderful, isn't it? They disappear for 14 hours at a time. Days, weeks go by.
No, it's great.
It's brilliant.
It is, that rhythm from the... It's like, do the drums and your dinner's ready. It's lovely, yeah.
Do you have a metaphorical shed?
I would like to have a little bit of his shed, because it was our shared office until it became the drumming music room.
Right.
But no, I don't think women get a shed. I get a corner of the kitchen.
Yes.
That's where we
Smells a bit
are.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
This role that you've got now, you said she's a German countess. Wasn't the last time you were on here, you were playing a German lady?
I was playing the German air hostess, Gretchen in Boeing.
Boeing, yeah.
Slightly different type of, a lot more corset wearing in this one.
And is
it's
it
set in 1916.
Is this sort of a path that you're going down
Germans.
deliberately? Not Germans. I'm only hearing Germans. No, but the theatre. I mean,
Yes,
from
I
one
love doing
theatre role to
theatre.
another.
No, it's brilliant, and I really, really have enjoyed it. And I've got a little one; she's, not even 2, and it's been so lovely. And for me to be at the Hampstead Theatre, which is around the corner to where I live, I get to be with her all day, and then just pop down there. It's been great, and it's a lovely theatre. And I'm enjoying theatre at the moment.
And we can share, you and I, Doctor Who.
Doctor Who?
Yes, because you're a lifelong fan,
Yes.
and I was in a whole series with you.
Really?
It's a bit forgotten, that, really. But
How when was that? Who was the
I
Doctor?
think I'll just tell you all about it. I
was
was
your
the Inquisitor with Colin Baker.
Oh, really?
Yes, and
Colin
I
Baker.
walked on in the first episode with a big
Tom
hat.
Baker.
Tom Baker.
No, Colin Baker
Colin.
played it for a
was it?
series, and I sat down in this big courtroom, and I stayed there then for the whole of the 13 episodes, and then the last episode I got out and walked out again. It was
They just brought you your lunch.
yes, yours was a bit better, I felt, really, a bit more glamorous.
No, that's great. We've done
But
a
it's
whole
exciting, isn't it,
series.
when you do something that you've always admired from afar.
Yeah.
It's great to be in it.
Absolutely.
Do you think will you get asked back? Is there
I
sort
don't
of a
know.
role
Every so
there?
often I sort of speak to Russell and say, look, it's a parallel universe. She could come back. She was a cyber woman, and then... But I know I'd love to. It is.
So now, because you're at the theatre, obviously your eating habits are a bit of a nightmare, isn't it, when you're at the theatre? Do you ever frequent a greasy spoon?
Do I have yes, there is one round the corner where we were going in rehearsal.
Do you like them?
I don't mind them. I used to like them a lot more when I used to go out on the tiles a bit,
Oh, with a hangover.
Oh,
Yes,
absolutely, yeah.
nothing like a fryer.
So do you prefer a latte or a cup of tea?
These days I'm more of a latte, but I do like a square,
do you
with
like
a
a
cafe.
tea cake?
Oh, I do love a tea
Oh,
cake.
you see.
Can you get a tea cake
But
there?
they do bloat one out, don't they?
They do, but it's marvellous.
I do like a tea cake.
Better than those posh biscuits.
Colleen's going to start a bit of a campaign on
you
bringing
know
back
what?
tea
Toasted
cakes.
tea cake.
I think a toasted tea
My next
cake.
sandwich board is bring back tea cakes.
So now listen, you're at the Hampstead Theatre and it's
Yes.
a run until...
It's at the moment it's running till the end of July. And then we'll
Right,
see
end
what
of
happens
July
with
on
it.
the Rocks. Thank
Yeah.
you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining us today.
Thank
It's such a
you.
pleasure. Tracy-Ann Oberman, everybody.